Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of the Untitled live chat show. My name is Alberta. I'm going to be your host for today's show. Today's show, we're going to be talking about fun and creative team building activities. I'm excited for this one. Our guest is Jonathan Galea from XLNT.MT. I'm going to invite him in for you guys. In the meantime, as usual, if anyone has any questions, feedback, comments, or anything, please feel free to put them in the comment box below. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Alberta. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to
Good
you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon to all viewers.
Super.
Hope you're well, first of all.
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm fine, thankfully.
Super. First off, thank you very much for finding the time to do this quick interview today with you.
Pleasure. You're very welcome.
I know it's a busy time, busy week, a busy day, so I appreciate it. But I did want to do this today for everyone to be able to see and understand all the different things that you can actually offer with corporate events and even with personal events, right? Because it's not just for companies that you can offer.
Yes,
I don't know if perhaps we can start off with a bit of a background, like who you are and how you came into doing events.
Yes, definitely. So basically, to sum it all up, since I was a kid, I think I've always had among a lot of interests because I'm a very curious person, so I tend to get interested in everything. But I've always had like three main passions, which are sports and physical activity, IT, and organizing things. So that was always me since I was a kid. Now, sports and physical activity I still do today. IT I pursued as a career, so it's still very much part of me. And organization of things, obviously it started off from the typical cousins meeting up, so for a table soccer tournament and you're the one who's organizing. So family trip when you grow older and you're the one who's organizing.
Okay.
Then slowly you start getting in committees because they see that you're the one who's a bit meticulous who likes organizing. So you start organizing a fun event, a party, a treasure hunt, etc., etc. So slowly, this thing started to get more serious. So it was always 99% of the cases, it was always a voluntary thing. So it was always, I ended up in a lot of committees, social committees, local clubs and committees, but it was always on a voluntary basis. So basically, that's how this thing, this passion basically started to get bigger and bigger. Obviously, like I was saying, organizing so many things, people then, luckily things always went well and people start telling you, listen, why don't you take this a bit more seriously? Why don't you try doing this a bit on a more professional level? And my instinctive answer was always, no, this is just a hobby. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have the time. I have so many things. But around a bit more than 2 years ago, maybe I started to think a bit deeper, and maybe I realized two things. First of all, I started to maybe appreciate and come to the conclusion that if you have something that you believe you're good in, it would be a waste not to take the full potential out of it.
Yes.
And also, after organizing so many years of activities and so much material there, I was like saying, it's a pity not taking this and using it to maybe organize other serious stuff, such as team building events, fun events. So I took the conclusion to try and maybe launch this venture and see how it goes. Luckily, it's going very well so far. It's been around 2 years, so
Cool. I was actually going to ask how long now you've been doing it, but you've been doing it since you were young. From what I'm understanding, it's like you're the go-to person even in the family.
Yes, it's always been like that. It's still like that today, so that there's no way changing that. Whatever is required, you're the go-to person. You cannot really say no, because if you're doing this for everyone, then you cannot say no to family, I guess.
Exactly. So, what are we doing for Christmas? Let's call Jonathan.
Exactly. But I'm used to it and I enjoy it, so it's not an issue.
And I also, when we met, I remember I was quite interested in you because there's a lot of different activities and ideas that you have and you've brought to the table for different events that people are organizing. Like, for example, you go from cooking competitions to treasure hunts, tours. There's, I think, something to hit for every different type of person. Before I want to actually go into the list of questions that I have for you today, I did want to ask if this is something that you're ventured into completely on your own, or if you even get a helping hand when you're doing different events for people.
No, obviously, doing it completely on my own was impossible for the reasons I explained there. Yeah, as well, it's not my only venture, so I need to cope with a lot of things. And also, first of all, organizing events, you have events with a big number of people. So if you have 100 people, it's very difficult to cope with 100 people on your own. And even when it comes to, so I have a lot of ideas, but I find that sharing those ideas, getting feedback, getting suggestions, trialing things out with another group of people. So in addition to helping you also, so I have a group of trusted people who help me a lot in that aspect. And thanks to them, it's also thanks to them that we so far managed to have such a successful 2 year of events.
Cool. Well, I will give a big shout out and thank you and well done to all the people helping out, all the team of XLNT.MT. I'm going to go into the next point for you. I know you have a good attention to detail. You're very meticulous. And what is the main mission that you want to deliver as XLNT?
So basically, our ultimate mission is to, whatever the event, whatever we're doing, whatever we're organizing, the main aim is to, at the end, deliver an excellent experience.
Okay.
So that is the main distinction point that we'd like to see lying there differently from what maybe other people are already offering. So for example, to give an analogy, an easy analogy that anyone can relate to, and that will get the point through. You go to a party, and then at the end of the party, people ask you how has it been. You might say it was good, there was good food, there were drinks, there was a good music, a good vibe, it was good. That's one type of feedback. But then there's the other type of feedback where you say, wow, this was super, this was the ultimate experience, this was a benchmark of a party. We want to deliver, we want to get that kind of feedback. So our aim is to deliver an excellent experience, both to the participants, so the people who will be joining, the 10, the 20s, the 100s who are joining, but also to the organizers in terms of an excellent end-to-end organization of the event where they can get to maybe enjoy the event more than taking care of making sure that everything goes well. So it's an excellent experience both to the organizers, or it's an organizing committee, if it's an organizing committee, or if it's a group, the organizer of the group, as well as to all participants who are joining in on the day.
Super, super. And Dinty, your main target is offering a team building activity or a fun activity. So if there's a group
Actually, there isn't a team building or a fun. Okay. Our opinion is that the team building should be fun. If a team building is not fun, then it will be a bit. The target will be a bit limited, so it needs to be fun as well. People are going to be joining you there for a half a day or for a full day, so they want to enjoy them. So they want something different from their daily routine. So we focus on making sure that we can create those events that can foster team spirit, but they can be super fun as well.
Very good, very good. And is there a particular process that you take on to stand out from other people that are offer the same service as you or a similar service?
No, basically, like I'm saying, we try to pay attention to detail and take care of all aspects from A to Z. I think that is what we try to make differently from anyone else. So starting from, maybe this is stretching it a bit too far, but even at the time of a proposal. So when you send a proposal, we put in a lot of effort in the proposal to show that we are focusing, we're aiming for quality, we're giving full attention to that. So even before getting the client on board, we're already trying to deliver that message that we want excellence. We, for example, and this is why I'm saying maybe stretching it a bit too far. If there is a spelling mistake in a proposal, that's how much we stretch it. It means that we didn't put so much, all the attention that we could put. So it could mean that then in the event, other things could slip up as well. So we try to deliver the message that even from the very beginning to the very end, covering all aspects, including getting feedback, etc., etc. We're putting all the attention to detail to make sure that it's an enjoyable event. It's the event that the customer is looking after, so we make sure that we capture the specific requirements to make sure that we don't miss anything. And then we try and get very well done at the end, which is actually what we are aiming for.
Amazing, amazing. Super. Thank you very much for that answer so far. You clarified everything for me. And I did want to point out for everyone how what attention to detail you have, because that's something that I noticed from the first time I met you. And when we had started talking about Event Lia and team building activities and so on. Issa, with regards to activities, I wanted to see if you could perhaps open up so people could understand watching the show all the different types of activities, especially when you're trying to cater to fit every different type of person, because it's quite unique. You know, I work with people that just do cooking, I work with people that just do wine tasting or tours, but you have managed to put it all in different packages.
Yes, yes. In fact, our intention, many of the things, so many of the events we create exclusively by ourselves. So that's a big advantage that we have. So we have the capabilities to create stuff. And even when customers come up maybe with an idea where either we don't have that particular flavor of it, or maybe we don't have it at all, most of the time we go the extra mile to make sure that we start offering that kind of activity, whether exclusively to that customer, because it's something that is very tailor-made, or whether it would be something that we start, I think, in our portfolio as well. So this is something that we put a lot of emphasis on, especially the more creative, the better. So I don't know if you want me to start maybe mentioning some examples of events here as well. So if it's a treasure hunt, whether it's by car, whether it's by walk, whether it's in Malta and Gold. So we had also started preparing some offshore treasure hunts very recently. Bear in mind that it's been only 2 years, so things are going very fast. But due to the current global situation, that aspect slowed down a bit. Obviously, people are now much more reluctant to travel for this kind of activity. So it will still be coming, but it will be coming later. So, but we have a whole lot of different treasure hunts. So when we talk about trivia, for example, trivia is becoming increasingly popular.
Yes, the trivia events. I love
it. It used to be very popular with foreigners, especially.
Okay.
But nowadays, even with the Maltese, it's becoming very popular. So you have customers who do it yearly, for example. It's something that they look forward to as their main event. It has a very good team building aspect as well. So getting a team of 5 brainstorming to come up with the answer, you'd be surprised how many people then start showing their leadership side, or others who initially are a bit more laid back, but then they get into it. So there's trivias, there's, like you mentioned, cooking competitions. There's a whole load of other events such as indoor fun games, outdoor fun games, pool games when the weather permits, obviously. So that's a whole load of fun as well. There's, for example, something we introduced recently as well, a sailing day. It's basically we get a small group of people who want to organize a team building, and we give them a sort of a mission. So we obviously have a captain who guides, who gives the necessary tutoring and explains some things. But then there's the hands-on, so we get the people trying to go about the sailing boat. There's fun elements as well. So there's lunch. It's a super fun day as well. So there's a lot of things. Then there's others. For example, like I was saying earlier, we also react to specific client requests. For example, a couple of months back, we had a client of ours who they were very fond of dancing, and they asked if we had something related to dancing. We didn't, but instead of saying no, but we can offer this and that, we just brainstormed a bit and we came up with something. We partnered with a professional dancer, a dancing instructor, and basically we created this event where the group, and it can take a substantial number as well. First of all, they're given an explanation of what they need to do and their thoughts, some moves, but then they need to build up a choreography, and unless everyone works well together, so there's that team building experience, unless everyone works well together, it will not be a successful show at the end. So there's something like that. we had requests as well, for example, for events for teens. They're coming increasingly popular, and kids. They would need teachers many times. They try to become creative and organize things instead of just cultural outings. Maybe kids would want to do other fun things as well. So we could tailor make events for young people as well. Whether it's we have, for example, teen hunts. We have games. Game both outdoor and indoor for kids, tailor-made for young people, obviously. So there's a whole lot of things. But the biggest asset we have is that, first of all, we always try to come up with new ideas. So we're increasing the number of things we offer continuously. But also, when a client comes up with an idea, I think one of the advantages we have is that we're very fast to react, and we have the skills and capabilities to come up with something and fully satisfy the customer to the specific requirements that he or she would have.
I agree. And they all sound very unique and different. So even just simple a person asking you for dance, you manage to make it in a way that it is still team building. There's still fun in it. You're giving the people a challenge, which that is what a person seeks, having a challenge to continue reaching their next goal, continue having fun, not just the standard, okay, we're going to do something, let's go out for drinks, basically.
Yes. In fact, I think that's the thing that spurs us on, that drives us on, because there's basically two roads. There's one road where you could have a portfolio, a settled one, then you have your standard offering, you offer that, either it's that or nothing. Then if people like it, you have that, and you move on. If not, they change to somewhere else. Whereas you could always be like on the line and trying to entertain exactly what the client wants, and that sort of thing where you're always on the go, trying to maybe stay awake at night and try and come up with something. I think that's the something that keeps us going on to continue doing better and better and strive for excellence in this case.
Super. Jonathan, how long before should a person get in touch with you to start preparing their next event, their next activity?
So the earlier the better, because obviously even for the very own sake of logistics, sometimes booking of specific places and organizing of specific logistics, it's good that someone plans ahead, especially if the person is picky on a date. Because if the person is not really picky on which day to choose, but most of the time it's the case. Everyone is busy, everyone has things to do, so getting people together is not easy. So usually you have a date and you need to stick to it. So in that case, it's good that people plan ahead at least a month earlier. At least we suggest before, but at least a month earlier, especially in busier times at the moment because of the current situation. Mass events cannot really go on, so things have slowed down. But especially in the normal times, it will get very difficult to cope with short-term requests. So we always encourage people to plan ahead and try and book a date as early as possible, so that we can make sure that we can give all aspects of the requirements that the client would have, including the date, because we always hate saying no, that date is not available, or no, we cannot fulfill the request on that date. So we always suggest that people plan early.
Amazing, very good. I did also want to make a note for everyone that if anyone has any questions, they can put them in the comment boxes while they're watching the show. Jonathan, we do also have sometimes where they put comments in after, so you'll be able to then answer them, through just a normal comment.
Yes, sure.
And I also want to let people know that there's your Facebook page. They can contact you directly there. There is your profile on Evently that I've actually put a link in the post description of this live show. And of course, there's your mobile number and everything. So if they just search XLNT.MT, they're going to find you on Google for sure. Do you have a website as well, Jonathan?
No, we have the Facebook page. So Facebook page, facebook.com/XLNT.MT. Yes.
Exactly. Nice one. I'm going to take it on because I know we have a busy schedule, so I do want to fit in all the questions we have today for you. And my next question, I just wanted to point it out because I wanted to see like those 3 main points that you feel are the reason why people should book you for their next company event?
No, basically, I've already hinted to it in an earlier answer, but I think if there is a company or a group of people, and their aim is to foster a great team spirit within their group while having super fun and having also peace of mind that there's all the attention to a great end-to-end organization. And most of all, like I was saying, thereafter an excellent experience. So not, yes, let's do the experience, okay, it was okay. No, we want an excellent experience, then I think you're looking at the right door.
Cool. Nice one. And while we're on this, maybe you want to point out even for us, like the most fun events or the most creative events now that you've added to your portfolio in the last 2 years.
Most events, well, luckily all events. We've had great feedback for all events, so it's been nice in that aspect, being acknowledged that it's been fun. But maybe some that come to mind. There's a recent one where we had, I mentioned sailing. We had a small group of people who wanted to do something different. We proposed sailing, and they liked it. But then when we got there on the day, and we said, listen, obviously not all people knew exactly what they were going to be doing. So when we started explaining that they were the ones who will be navigating and putting up the sails, etc., they were all starting to get laid back, and we're not so sure of this. Can't we just sit? No, this is not about sitting. This is going to be a team building experience, and we should now be having fun. But it started off from there, and then it ended up with the captain struggling to decrease the initiative on their side, and so they were like becoming all captains. Then obviously there was the part where they could stop on a nice spot and swim, and there was lunch. So they got so much into it, and they flew, and it was really great. So that's something I remember very well, because there was extreme. So before I think if they could have chosen to go home, they would have left. There was someone to say, no, you need to do it. So the leader was saying they need to do it. But then at the end, it was, they were like all, the captain was
and they all
saying, how are we going to stop them? So that was really fun. Another one that's coming to mind, we had that was super fun. We had a trivia with around 120 people. It was their team building event, but they were so much into it that they wanted just trivia, because sometimes we mix trivia with other games. And the good thing about this, the fun thing, was that the team building event started much earlier, because they had to choose a team name, they had to come up with a poster, and they had to come up on the day with like either a shirt or something that decorating the table there. And they came so much into it that we had like teams coming up dressed as scientists, we had teams coming up dressed as superheroes. All the venue was decorated. It was surreal. It was like the vibe that we had there, and they enjoyed it so much that usually that kind of event lasts 2 hours. With all the noise and with all the things that were happening off the blend, we ended up taking 3 hours and a half, so almost twice the time. And so that's
they really got into it. You gave them that prep time. They came in like, let's get this. We're gonna win this.
And another one I'm remembering. So I don't know if you asked for 3.
Go for it. It's good. I want people to have different ideas.
Another one we had, I'm remembering now, last year we had, how can I call them? A group of very, very high profile people in the Maltese scenario. Let's keep it at that. And they wanted to have a team building event. This was the first of the sort for them. And they wanted something, sort of a treasure hunt. So we organized a treasure hunt for them. And our treasure hunts are not standard treasure hunts where you're given a sheet with a number of questions you need to go about and find the answers. They're much more fun than that. There's missions that you need to do. So we can imagine these very high profile people wandering about the streets. In this case, it was in Dina and Rabat, and doing fun things. And they ended up obviously at the after venue, because then we have the after event, after the treasure hunt, where we show all the answers in a video. So there's that suspense building up, and then presentation with a rendering of the scores, etc. And these very high profiles, you would imagine, like I need to be careful here. It was like controlling a group of kids at school. It ended up like that. So I was impressed, because at the end, I mean, when someone's having fun, whether it's the highest profile people or a kid, I think at the end it's always the same thing. People enjoy it, and it's the natural actions that come out. So
it's true.
That's another one that I remember.
It's why I think I love team building events or these activities so much, because a person comes out of their shell and you see the real nature. Like in the beginning, a person might be a bit shy, but then once they get into it, then you're seeing that real person, be it if they have a competitive side, if they have leadership skills and so on. So I definitely agree with you there. I also wanted to ask you, with regards to the clients that you've had in the last 2 years, is there a particular industry that you've attracted, or have you worked with clients from gaming, financial?
No, not really. It's team building experiences can be organized for all kinds of industries. So we've had a lot from the gaming and the IT industries, because in Malta there's a lot of clients in that aspect. But we've had many coming from the education. Hospital, then so all medical, all legal. We've had everything. So ultimately, all companies are now becoming very aware of the importance of a team building event at least once a year. So everyone is going for it, and I think it's turning out to be a success, because at the end, if it's a true team building event and it's also fun, I think it will help the company, whatever industry it is, to foster a better team spirit and to have better productivity at the end in whatever it is that they are doing.
Very good. Thank you, Jonathan. You already touched on this point with regards to everything that has happened in 2020. Now, I know, of course, events would have reduced. Companies are trying to keep their feet on the ground and continue working to make it and so on. But I'm sure there are certain measures that you've had to take on to deliver to your clients, the ones that are still choosing to do activities.
Yes, definitely. First of all, when it comes to large numbers, obviously we're not doing those at the moment. But when it comes to smaller numbers, yes, there is a lot of events that can still take place. So with small numbers, for example, especially the seated ones, because the seated ones are the less problematic, we're making sure to fully respect the measures that are being suggested. So even when it comes to seating, we make sure that there is adequate distance between team members. So we implement all measures, but then again, there's a lot of events that can still continue. So I mentioned the seated ones. There's trivia, we have indoor games that we can do on the inside. There's a lot of things. The sailing ones, for example, it's a group of 6-7 people going out. I mean, that's something that can be done very well. October, especially now, September, October are usually the best times for that kind of activity as well. So those are things that can still proceed. Obviously, the other events that involve maybe people needing to get closer to each other, or the larger numbers, pool parties, those obviously we have to put to a spot. We're putting safety of our customers first and foremost. So even when we do get that occasional request in that regard, we try and come to the natural conclusion with the client that it's not the ideal time to organize such a thing. We truly believe that safety of everyone should be the priority.
Amazing. We are down to the last 2 points on the agenda for you, John, today. I hope it's fine I call you John, sorry.
No, definitely.
Yes? Okay, cool.
I said no, I meant yes, so yes, definitely.
Okay. I'm saying Jonathan in full sometimes is very long. My colleague is
No,
Johnson as well, but
they call me everything. John, so Joe, whatever suits you.
طيب طيب. I wanted to conclude with these two questions. One of them is if you have any tips for the audience that are watching the show today.
Obviously, any tips? Two main tips, I would say. First of all, priority is stay safe. Better times, I'm sure better times are ahead, so we'll be able to do whatever we were doing up until a few months ago. We'll be able to do it again very soon. So till now, stay safe so that we can get to that point as soon as possible. Second tip, again, I'm going to maybe repeat a bit or touch a bit on what I said earlier. My suggestion is to always seek whatever you're going for, always seek the best experience. And even when you think you've had the best experience, never be totally satisfied. I think there is always room to improve whatever it is that was done. So always try to give feedback, pay attention to see what could be improved. We ourselves, for example, one of the things that we always do is after the event, we create a feedback loop immediately with the participants so that we get, sometimes we also give them survey forms to fill in very quick. So obviously it's just ticking of a number of boxes and some suggestions, but that helps us to understand what can be improved. So we never lie with just, okay, we have a 90% very good feedback. We always try to find the opportunities to improve, and that is what I suggest to the clients as well. Whatever it is that they're going to do, always try and get the best experience. Time is valuable nowadays. So once you get the time to do something, try and get the most of it. And give feedback to whoever it is who is organizing it, so that whether it is to you or to someone else, we can always try to improve and get to a more consistent level of excellence, which is ultimately what is our mission.
Super, super. My final question for you, John, today, your future plans as XLNT.
Future plans, I think we're very young in terms of a company, XLNT.MT. I think the sky is the limit. We have a lot of ideas, so the clients themselves, the customers themselves have a lot of ideas. So whatever you have, there's always something new that can be done. So we're always on the go trying to create different flavors or something new altogether. And it's very important that you keep on pushing yourself to create something else, because I think the moment that you get stuck is the moment where you're not really fit anymore for that kind of thing, or there isn't that passion anymore. And obviously, future plan is to continue to aim for that elusive perfection. I'm a perfectionist in nature. I know perfection is impossible to achieve, but aiming for that elusive perfection, you stand a much bigger chance of getting a consistent level of excellence. I think that's the future plan.
Amazing. Jonathan, thank you very much for being on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
It's been great. It's been great. It's been great. I will be adding as well this show for everyone on your profile. So anyone that is checking out your profile, seeing the different services and everything you can offer, they'll be able to watch this again. Do you have any final words before we end the show?
No, basically, apart from thanking you again, also thanking the viewers for sticking up with me for this hour. Obviously, if anyone has any questions or would like to know more about us, we're always here to answer any questions, whether it's by email, our email address, or Facebook, or through Evently. I mean, do get in touch. Obviously, be safe, so let's always try and organize something that is safe, so that people can get to enjoy a team building activity while still remaining safe. And then we'll hope for the best to get everything back to its normal routine as soon as possible, because it would be super for everyone.
Yes, for sure. I think we need We need a good 2021 now.
Yes, yes, yes. As soon as possible. So we're fast
Exactly.
approaching the end. I think I'm very agreement with you here. We need a great 2021 now to wake up
Last
to it.
time I saw a funny meme where they said I'm not buying a 2021 diary till I see or movie or whatever till I see the trailer after what happened in 2020. Anyways,
Indeed, indeed.
I am going to take you off the stream now, John. Thank you very, very much for being on the show. I see you soon.
Thank you once again, Alberto. Have a nice
See you.
afternoon.
Same to
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye. There you have it, guys. Jonathan Galea, founder of XLNT.MT. He can be found on Evently on Facebook. There's his email address and his mobile number. If you also search XLNT.MT on Google, you're going to find both his Evently profile and his Facebook page. So you'll be even able to check out even different works that he's done, photos, videos, everything of the sort. I'd like to say thank you to everyone for watching the show. As always, if you need any help with Evently or with anything, or even trying to get in touch with Jonathan, please don't hesitate to contact us. Our number is 20330096. I do look forward to seeing you guys next time. See you.